YouTube fam, how y'all doing? This is Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews, a channel where I rant and I review 2.0. I'm your host, Uncle Tim. One of the biggest debates that's been raging over a period of time is box or unbox collecting, far as action figures and Funko Pops and all of that. You know what? Hell, we could even say Hot Wheel cars. Hell, we could even say video games. But we're just going to go with the action figures and why it's been a debate. Because, it's said that a lot of action figures who are in boxes maintain a value, a value that's really high, that's the resale value, with a box figure would be amazing. Now, this is what we call Wolfsbane for Marvel Legends. Now, you know what? She comes with the Zabu body, which is the saber-toothed tiger for Kazar. But you know what? I'm going to say this. If you take this figure out the box, be honest. You think the price of the figure will go down. No. That figure right there is $25. That's $25. Ban it just like this. Sometimes without the body inside of this, for the Build-A-Figure, this figure is still going for $25. With just the regular Wolfsbane figure with the two hands. Yes. There's really no difference, man. And I'm talking about it's still inside the box. Now, the figure is loose. It may be still the same price, or it may be slightly higher. Now, we have Thunder Punch He-Man. This guy here is loose. I have all the accessories for him. I bought him boxed. And I was just saying here, this figure right here, if I bought it loose, might be the same price as the brand new figure. It depends on how hard the figures are to find. If it's a figure that's really hard to find, the price is going to be astronomical. And I'm talking about loose. Let alone if you're trying to get it boxed, it's going to be hellified. But loose, you may get it for like $5 off of what it is in the box. I hear a lot of people tell me that a lot of places sell loose figures for cheap. Dude, you need to tell me where these places are at. Because here in Chicago, we have no places like that. Loose figures fetch a premium price because you have a lot of collectors like myself who collect outside the box. Whereas I don't keep the boxes for most figures. Back in the day, I did used to keep the boxes, but I quickly ran out of space to put this stuff, so I stopped keeping the boxes. And you know what? The figure's already outside the box. And that's how I look at it. It's outside the box, I already open it. I wouldn't dupe anybody into buying a figure that's been open box. So, the thing that I look at, like I said, back in the day, I used to collect a lot of action figures, and I used to place them on the wall using like little push pins. And, not into the cardboard or anything like that, but I would place them on the wall and I just hook it onto there. And, you have your figures across the walls, going down nice and neat in rows and stuff. Looking amazing, fam. But you know what I learned? Box figures take up too much space. I was thinking about my Funko Pops. In boxes, they take up a lot of space. But if you take them outside the boxes, they're still going to take up just about as much space as they did inside the box. And the reason why I say that, because in order to put them up somewhere, you have to take them out the box, you have to put them on shelves, and you have to see how many of them that you could place up there without, them looking tacky or weird. That's the thing that I look at with, collecting. The figures outside of the boxes, it's easier for me to place a lot of them up there. I like them whereas I can see a lot of them, man. And, right here, I can really see them all. And, I have a gang of them out. But if I had the boxes turned up there sideways, I wouldn't be able to put a lot of figures up there. And, over a period of time, it comes down to just preference, man, whether you like the figure in the box or not. If you really like the box art, like some of the Funko Pops, and I'm just using Funko Pops because, I don't have a lot of in-box figures around here. I kind of like opened them all up yesterday I would have did it on camera, but I wasn't thinking about it. I just did it as something to do that morning. But if you look at the Funko Pops, and I'm gonna just say it like that, and if you look at it, the Funko Pops have so much of color. The pop itself, then the boxes, they have some amazing, excuse me, hair just driving me crazy. And I don't have hair. My wife has a ton of hair. But, if you look at the box art, it's just amazing. It's colorful. There's words on them. Then, oh, hell. I don't even know why I'm doing all of that. I apologize. I'm over there. Just look at this. Look how colorful that box art is. Just look at it. Dude, by far, the box art is amazing. I end up getting this whole wave from Funko.com. And dude, I just couldn't be more impressed. Just, looking at Castlevania Nocturne and just looking at all of this, man. And I'm just like, man, it just makes you just wonder. This is why I collect Funko Pops. And this is why I collect action figures. For the Funko Pops, it's because, the box art, the actual pop in the box. Then you look at the action figures. Some of them have some amazing box art. But you know what? Again, I just can't justify putting them on the wall anymore. If I still had pictures of this stuff, I would show it to you. But I no longer have pictures because that part of my life I don't want to look back at. Sometimes, once you made it past a certain stage, you just don't want to look back. And, one of the biggest things that I've been having issues with as far as collecting groups, I was talking to some of the people in the Hot Wheel groups, and we were talking about, like, Hot Wheel cars, right? To actually keep them in packaging or to take them out. And see, that's one of the biggest things that I've been debating with. I have a ton of Hot Wheel cars, fam. I really do. I have a ton of these things. I have a ton of them that, I got over here that I need to do something with, find a container to put them in. And I was just thinking, I said, maybe I'm going to open some of them, have some open ones, like when I get my cases, just to talk about it. Just to show you. So when I get my cases and stuff like that, I have a lot of places to put the stuff, man. Just to be able to put them up on the wall. Or I was thinking about in the next place, maybe use those strips where you could just put them down the wall, you can center them, and you could just do it and just put the Hot Wheel cars, slide them in. Like I see on a lot of the channels, man, but I was thinking about it. I said I might like those cases where I could have somebody come and install them for me. And, one of my friends like, fam, you could do this yourself. And I was like, man, you know what? Just to be honest, I know what I'm good at. And, I stay in my lane. Back in the day, I used to be real handy. But, nowadays, dude, that takes a lot of time. And, to do all that, I just don't really want to do all that. I want to pay somebody to do that. So, I could have somebody, like if I took a lot of these Hot Wheel cards out of the package, and like I think I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Got like 10 totes of Hot Wheel cards. And in this one that I was looking at, one of them I seen, I think it holds like 100 cars. It's glass. Man, it just looks amazing, man. It has mirror in the back, so you can just see the car shining. It has a dust cover over it, and it's, not the dust cover, but it's like the plastic, it's all around plastic, so you could close it up so no dust get on the cars, man. And I was like, man. And, I was looking at the guy's wall, off of YouTube. He's a content creator, man. And he had it on the wall, and he had these lights up, right? And these lights were just shining on the glass cases, man, right? And all you seen was just all that light just gleaming. It had the cars, man, looking amazing, man. And I'm like, damn. But they were expensive. I think they were like $100 a case, and to hold the cars. The car case cost like $100, And he said it just like this. He said, I didn't buy all of these at the same time. He said, I bought one at a time, one, every 2 months, or, one every 3 months. He said, when I got the money for them. But he said, man, if you look at how many of them up there, you think I bought them all at the same time. And see, that's what, I came to the conclusion with. But, he broke it down and explained it. But I was just looking at how it looked with all the light and everything hitting off of it. Man, it looked amazing. Then he had like the Maisto cards, the 118s, the ones that I got. He had them up like down the side in these glass cases too. These were in glass cases, going down the side. I mean, like they were like drilled into the wall. Like he told on the video, he had a professional person come out and install all this stuff. Man, and I'm looking at it. You know, I'm a collector of like exotic Maisto cards or Barago cards, 118s. And, you know, just to think about that and think about where would I want that on the wall. And I was just thinking about how he had it set up. I was just thinking about, you know, just overall, how it just made me feel just to look at this, man. And when I tell you it's amazing looking, it was amazing looking. It was what it was, man. And it made me feel some kind of way. And that's the way this is supposed to make you feel. Your hobby's supposed to make you feel, you know, whether if you know or not, you know. And I'm going to go here a little further. We're going to talk about video games. Now, you know, and I'm going to go just with some of the stuff that I got on my hands. So give me a second just to put up some other stuff that we talked about. You know, so we all know these games come in cases. You know, like far as with the Nintendo NES games, they came in cardboard boxes. The Sega Genesis games came in clamshells. So, you know, a lot of people over a period of time, you know, no kid back in the day kept the boxes that I knew of. You know, you had a few, but none I knew. And the clamshells, a lot of people were like the clamshells took up too much space. Then, you know, you got to the N64 games. And in the N64 games, one of the things that you ran into was, again, those were cardboard boxes. A lot of people didn't want to keep them. And, you know, can't blame them. But as time went on, you know, you have stuff like, and I'm going to just show you something real quick. Give you a minute. I should have been a little more prepared, but I didn't know I was going to go this far into it. So you went and got disc games, and these come into cases. But see, one thing with a lot of these, I had the cases going all the way through until I moved from the last place, and I didn't have a place to put all of those video games, too. And when I tell you I have a lot of video games, I do. It's just they all in like those binders. They're in binders like this. Give me 1 second. Then what you call binders like this. I think this hold like 320. I think I got like 5 or 6 of these. One thing about video games, I didn't give them away. And one thing about the games, I played them a lot. And that's the thing that a lot of people didn't understand. But one thing about these, discs really work good in these. They display well, but the thing is, they take up a lot of space. And I know you saying, this don't take up a lot of space, but if you got a lot of games, they do. Just like with the Blu-rays. I got Blu-rays over here now. And, you know, at one point, while I'm showing, someone asked me one of my favorite PS2 games, Castlevania Lament of Innocence. This is one of my favorite PS2 games. Great game. The other one is Symphony of the Night by Castlevania. That one is amazing. I got that around here somewhere. I just don't know where. Real quick, we're going to do this. Blu-rays. Now, we all know a lot of people do not keep the cases for Blu-rays or DVDs or anything like that. A lot of people got them in those binders that I told you about, that I just showed you. But again, is it worth keeping your stuff, you know, in these, or just to actually, you know, do the binder thing? It's up to you. See, that's one thing about collecting. It's all up to you. You know, your style of collecting, your way of displaying your collection, man. That's all up to you. You know, me, I was an inbox collector for so many years, but I had my stuff in like boxes because, you know, I had nowhere to put it. You know, I had a lot of the Spawn stuff back in the beginning because Spawn was the most popular thing going. I had a lot of the Jim Lee Wildcats. I had a lot of the Savage Dragon and stuff like that. Just action figures every damn where. It was just fun. I had so many figures on the wall, man, and I had like the display of video games on the shelves like these, but they were different. They were all on the shelves, man. It was looking amazing. But that place I had to get up out of, man. A split. So I had to get up out of there. So, you know, I ended up coming to another place where I had to leave because, it was time for me to move to something different. Man, the thing that I'm just trying to tell you, it's the same thing as them helmets. I know a lot of people who have the helmets over here. If you look at the helmet on the side right here, I still got the box for this, but the other ones, I don't have the box. I still have the box for the Magneto helmet. And a lot of people will say, hey, you should keep these things in boxes. It keeps the dust off. Do you still wear it from time to time? I still wear everything from time to time. I still use everything from time to time. Again, dude, when you're a collector, you also somebody who enjoys, actually, using this stuff. But that's one thing for me. I just couldn't keep the helmets in the boxes, man. They look better displayed. I have them displayed behind the comic books. I didn't have that many comic books at first, so it was just like a win-win. You had the comic books, but I ended up getting a lot of comic books, man. Again, in box or out of box, loose or sealed. That depends on you. I have a lot of friends who collect gym shoes. We collect action figures. I collect gym shoes my damn self. I have a whole plethora with those container store gym shoe cases, boxes rather. And, for some reason, I ain't gonna lie, some of the boxes cost more than the shoes in them. A lot of these cases that I had up here, they were full of Jordans. But, after a while, the Jordans didn't work well with my feet. So either I sold them, I gave some away. The ones that were worn a little bit, I gave those, to people who were in need, like as far as donating. But again, when it comes to like sneaker collecting, one thing is about having the sneaker with the box. That's the best way of collecting. Having the original box with the sneaker. Man, the resale value, if you're going to sell them, you can fetch a pretty penny. And see, the same thing with video games. If they inside boxes, you get more for them. Action figures, you get more for them. Funko Pops, you get more for them. It's just the way how it all works out. It's up to you at the end of the day. Whether you want it in box or out of box. If it's going to save you some room, you get more. I don't know, over a period of time with Hot Wheel cars. A lot of times with those, the old ones are the most expensive, and those are out of boxes because 9 times out of 10, no one kept the box on a Hot Wheel car 20 years ago. Not 20, I'm gonna say 40 years ago. I'm talking about Hot Wheel cars from like the 60s and 70s. I think it was that 60s and 70s. Yeah. So think about it. Barbies are more expensive inside the box. If you can find some of the older ones with the boxes, but 9 times out of 10, you won't find none of those. Because again, a lot of young people didn't keep the boxes. So this is where we at right now. Like I said, I want to take all my Hot Wheel cars out of the boxes. I would like to display them. I would like to have my Maestro cars in a display like the guy had. They were like clear, looked like acrylic cases, and they were just going down the wall, and they were just by each other. And I mean, he had so many of them, and it was just sharp how he had them all set up. They were shining, and I mean, the cars looked like they were color coordinated. They looked like candy. I mean, it was just amazing. It was just something to behold. And see, that's what I like. I like to see everybody's originality. Your collection actually reflects a lot on your character. If you like open box stuff, that don't mean anything. If you like stuff sealed in boxes, that don't mean anything either. It just means you have a preference. And your preference is just as good as anybody else's. And man, that's what I like about collecting. There's no right or wrong answer. If you're in this for reselling, maybe keeping them inside the box might be a good idea. But if you in this just for collecting, loose might be the way for you, but you can still sell loose figures. There's a market all over eBay, whatnot, Macari, and all these other places that will actually get you some money for selling your loose figures. Figures that are in demand, trust me, again, you could actually get good money for. Like stuff that everybody been looking for, but you can't find, and people are finding it, but they play with it a little bit, like those Voltron lions. You could still find people on eBay selling them, but they loose now. They done took it out the plastic and they played with it and all that. But yeah, you can still come across this stuff, man. And is it wrong to buy it? No. It's up to you what you want to do. It's up to you how you want to collect. Man, collecting is a fun, beautiful thing. It's something that, shows your personality, your originality, who you are as a person. It shows how meticulous you are. It shows that you got some discipline because you have to dust this stuff. Either in box or out of box. You got to dust this stuff because this stuff can get very, very dusty. So I tell a lot of people to use canned air spray. It helps a lot. Especially if you got vehicles. I used to have vehicles hanging, Cobra night ravens. If you look at some of the older videos on the other channel, there were Cobra night ravens hanging over the Terradrome. The Cobra Terradrome used to be on this shelf here. Because this shelf wasn't ready. I added this shelf later on. Yeah, I added this shelf later on. So I added two shelves, the one at the top and the one here. So the Terradrome was sitting there and the Cobra Ravens were on thread above it, hovering. And the G.I. Joes were on the side. It looked amazing, man. It was something to behold. But one thing I wanted the Joes to have their own spot. But see, the thing is, that's the beauty of collecting. And, to me, that's the beauty of having stuff boxed and unboxed. You can put it anywhere you want to. If you're willing to take down a few pieces, like I said, and redo stuff, man, and that's the purpose of, your collection being what you want to do. Because at the end of the day, it all has something to do with your personality, man. Again, I got that Dr. Robotnik, right? And I was trying to figure out where I want to put this guy. I had the box yesterday, but I ended up, getting rid of the box. And, I want to know where I'm going to put them at. I was thinking to myself, I said, Self, I said, what you going to do here? I said, man, if you look at it, I said, man, if I, go to Ross, anytime soon, what I would want to do is see, could I find another one? If you get what I'm saying. I want to see if I could find another one and have two of them. And, that way I could do something with it, maybe custom paint job and, have it as some sort of transformer looking piece or, just, a whole bunch of stuff, man. And I'm just getting here, and I ain't gonna lie to you, it is fun collecting, man. I know I say a lot of stuff, but you know what? We all have different points, on why we do the things we do. We all have different opinions. We all have different grails, and certain things to you may be a holy grail. Like to me, honestly, if we talking about Funko Pops, the damn Ninja Turtles were the holy grails. It was like I found the whole set and I was happy. And it was like people are like, but those are not really worth anything. They don't have to be worth anything to you. But to me, it meant something. Like I found a set that I was looking for. Certain things you can't find online or inside stores, man. When I found that Darkwing Duck, the Scrooge McDuck, the Gosling, Millard, and Webby, and Louie, man, I felt really good about that. I was like, man, then I found Radioactive Man and Bart, man. Dude, I was having fun with this. And it's like, man, okay, then I found some Masters of the Universe stuff. Then I found Gotcha Man, Ken the Eagle, Joe the Condor, and June the Swan. Dude, I was like in heaven. My thing is, it's up to you. I could have stuff in box and stuff out of box. I prefer my Funko Pops, honestly, in box. My action figures, loose. That way I could place them where I want to. I could put them all over the room. I wanted to keep the Castle Grayskull inside of a box along with Snake Mountain, but I thought about it. I said, what would be the purpose? The purpose, I said, I always wanted, Castle Grayskull, And I finally got one a while back, and it wasn't what I wanted. Then I ended up getting Snake Mountain. Then I started getting all these big play sets because I had like the Voltron Castle. I had like two of those. Um, Dude, I had to do some work on both of them, though. That's funny. That's a story for another day. But again, your hobby, man, it's a representation of you. If you like what you're doing, man, trust me, you're going to have it set up the way you want it. It's going to be the way it should be. And, at the end of the day, it's going to have people looking at it and be like, damn, this is what he doing over here. I didn't know he was doing it like that. A young lady showed me her Blu-ray collection. And, I'm a fan of movies and things like that because I have a lot of box sets still inside of cases, because a lot of the Blu-rays I took out in the beginning, because I still got a lot of Blu-rays that I recently got back into and started leaving them in cases, because it looks better in cases to me if you got the space. She showed me her Blu-ray collection and the damn thing looked amazing. She had it set up with the wall behind it, like with banners from like movies. That way it showed through in the background. It looked crazy as hell, but it was fun. She had posters all over the wall and stuff, and just her Blu-rays going all the way across the wall in like weird, these weird cases, whereas you could see the background, man. It was just fun. And that's what I'm talking about. Just your hobby represents you. Man, it's just like you sit back sometimes and you wonder what you want to do with your collection. Again, that's up to you. I buy stuff from time to time, and I know people may be like, man, dude, you just buy too much, you're doing this and that. Dude, at the end of the day, you gonna do you. And that's just how it is, man. You gonna have fun doing what you're doing. Like I told you, I got RC cars in there. I showed y'all that big Batmobile, the tumbler and all that, and I was trying to get it to work because I had it a while back. I had it like when I ended a relationship, and it was like something that really brought joy to me, man. At the beginning, I think I paid like $107 for it. Man, the original, man, that damn thing was all over the floor, just making making all kind of crazy noise. Man, but like I said, I'm a Batman fan. I got a lot of Batman stuff. And if you look at it, my RC cars, a lot of them are still in boxes. Now, I yet to take them out the box. I want to take them out the box and drive them in this parking lot. Back in the day, me and my kids, I have two kids. Back in the day, me and my kids, we used to take them and go into the parking lots, and we just used to race them with each other. Like not these cars, but I had different Tyco racing cars. I had like the Lamborghini. I had the red one. We had the black one. I had painted one blue. Then I painted one yellow. It was crazy, man. We were having fun. Man, and each car ran on a different frequency, so you can race like 1 or 2 or 3 cars at a different time, the way they were set up, because, man, it was fun as hell. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. Those days, those times, like, my friend has race cars, like those racing sets back in the day. You remember like Tyco slot cars and all of that? How you had the electric track and a car would go around the track and you had the little thing pushing it? Dude, he collect those in boxes. He has them, they still sealed in boxes, the one he got. And they look amazing the way he got it set up. It looked like he had damn Toys R Us if you look at it, bro. It looks amazing in the way how the brother got this stuff set up. But my stuff, I took it out. Dude, I was buying set after set. I was one of the biggest, in my opinion, slot car people there was in Chicago at that damn time. I had a whole room dedicated at the last place before I took it down. It was the size of the damn living room. Dude, the cars were just going around the damn track. Man, it was crazy as hell. I would sand that track every day. You like sand the track? What are you talking about? With sandpaper? I was sanding the metal rails and the connectors and stuff, so the connection would be fantastic. The damn cars were speeding. I had loops in every damn thing. The shit was crazy, fam. This is how you get down. This is how you enjoy what you do. Do you get enjoyment out of having it, whereas you could play it, or do you get enjoyment out of just having it whereas you could display it? I know a lot of people who have sealed video games, bro, and I mean, damn, they got them displayed and every damn thing else. They look cool as hell. I'm like, you could resell that shit and get a whole ton of money. I know people with sealed Pokemon cards, man, and they got them set up, and I'm like, okay, like, they got sealed basketball cards back in the day with those Michael Jordan packs from back in the day. I'm talking about the Michael Jordan packs that are worth money. And, with the rookie card in it, they got some of the star ones. I think it was Star and the Flare. I'm just sitting here like, I think that's what they were, man. And I'm just like, I don't understand the logic in that, but you know what? It ain't for me to understand. But see, that's what collecting is. It's all about you. It's your preference, what you want. Dude, and like I said, dude, it's a fun thing. But to later, fam, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Peace out.